Alright, so Luke from Well Size. Today I want to talk about something really important, okay? I want to talk about the sit to stand or the squat progression. This is the first stage that you usually start someone off with. And obviously the Healthy at Home course is designed for people that are beginning or a little bit older and need to improve their health, their lifestyle, all those kinds of things. So this is always the first thing that we always tend to start out with people. Now in saying that, there are other times that you may need to regress someone back even further than that to leg extensions, glute strengthening, things like that. But I always say if we can get someone into the compound movements earlier, it's always a better way to go, right? Because we're going to strengthen that lower body, we're also going to load it up, all right? So it's good for the hips. Also, you find as people get older, one of the tests is can they even get out of the chair, all right? And that's important. I mean, if you fall on the ground and you don't have the strength to get yourself back up, you're in a bit of trouble, all right? So we need to make sure that as we age, we actually keep our strength up. Okay, so really simple way to do this at home, all right? There's not a lot of tricks and everything like that that you need to be doing, no special exercise. It's literally a chair, okay, to start yourself off with, the sit to stand, okay? So first thing you'll notice is that I've actually got it against the wall, so it's stable, so it's not moving around as we're using it. So you sit yourself in the chair. I always say to people, just bring yourself off it, because some people sit right back in it like this, and then they'll lean themselves forward and do all sorts of stuff. So you want to bring yourself more towards the edge a little bit, plant your feet probably around just outside hip width apart, all right, where you're comfortable. Okay, I've seen people go really narrow, some people go really wide. I always say just outside hip width is probably a good way to go. Okay, some people put their hands across their chest. I've seen all sorts of different things. You just say to people, don't put your hands on your legs, because you might be tempted to start using your arms more than your legs. So this is a lower body movement, okay? We want to make sure that we're using our legs to drive ourselves up, okay? Now, when we're actually doing this, we want to drive through the full foot, okay? Some people will cue and say drive off the heels. Now, if someone's lifting as they're getting up out of it, I might say that, drive off the heel. But usually say, if you could drive through your full foot, okay? So drive through your full foot, you'll find that the weight will naturally shift back a little bit anyway. Okay, and now there are a lot of people that talk about these things here, your tibia, your shin, being upright when you do squats and all this kind of stuff. Well, we don't really need to get into that too much, because the chair height is probably close to where your femur or your thigh bone is parallel with the ground anyway. Okay, so I wouldn't get too worried about that. Now, bearing in mind, if you find that this chair is too low and you can't get out, well then what do? You start with a higher chair. Or you find a cushion, you put a cushion on it, and you just boost yourself up a little bit, and then you practice. Just like if you watch the video with the wall push-ups and the idea of lowering it, all right, well this in this circumstance is the same thing. Okay, the sit to stand progression is just a matter of lowering, okay, to start off with. All right, so get yourself nice and strong. I just put my hands wherever I feel like. I just don't put them on my legs. Okay, drive myself up. Okay, so as I stand up and as I bring myself to this top position, I squeeze my butt. Okay, obviously I've got my core switched on, so I've got a nice big chest, big proud chest, so try and keep it lifted up. Think of like a string pulling through, okay, because you don't want to be collapsing, you don't want to be over, extending your spine or anything like that. Okay, down, touch the chair, lower yourself gently back to the chair. You don't want to plonk yourself in the chair, that's not good for your back. Okay, so drive up, out, squeeze your glutes as you get towards the top, make sure everything's turned on hip pelvic floor, okay? Another little cue is you can grip the ground with your toes, all right? Increase that force a little bit and think about turning your feet out slightly, and you'll feel your glutes turn a little bit more, lower and up, okay? One of the assessments that we like to do is the 30-second sit to stand, so how many sit to stands that you can do in 30 seconds, all right? Because you're going to see other things occur as well. All right, and one of the things you might see is that when someone's standing up, you see collapse. All right, so you see the knees begin to come in, and it's telling you there's a little bit of loss of strength around there. And what you can do is there are some isometrics, there's some small clam exercises, things like that, where you lie on your side, etc. But what you can also do is you can also put a band around the top of your knees here. So as you're standing up, you've actually got to fight that force. All right, you can't collapse in. All right, usually depends on the person, so that's an individual thing. So how do we go about progressing that? Well, it's pretty easy, I suppose. I've already mentioned before about if it's too hard to come onto a chair that's this low, then you would boost it up. And it's no different if you can find yourself something that's a bit lower than this. If you can do say 3 sets of 15 with ease and not have a lot of soreness and things like that for a few days after, then consider going to a lower chair or something like that. I know I had a patient and he was telling me he's got to the point now where he has a paint can. He has this 15-litre paint can that's just below knee height, and that's what he uses. Alright, so the sit to stand is more or less, if you're in performance-based sport, more like a box squat. Okay, there's just no weight or anything like that added. Alright, it's a really great exercise. I think it's something that's really simple that you can do at home. Alright, it's going to improve a lot of different factors for you. Obviously strength, bone mineral density, even balance, because if you go to fall and you've got stronger legs, alright, you're going to stop yourself because of strength, but then you're going to balance yourself up. Okay, alright, so Luke's Novitis, well sized, have a good day. Alright, do some sit to stands.